A cold front moving across our area is going to bring some big changes for the week ahead. Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi everyone, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. Thank you for joining me on this Monday, February the 19th. Before we get into the weather forecast, I want to thank all of our new subscribers. Thank you for finding us here at Meteo Mundo. Our goal is to present a timely and accurate weather forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas using our resources and our technology to present it in a way that you won't find anywhere else across YouTube or other digital platforms. And part of that unique experience here at Meteo Mundo is that we actually offer a live 24/7 stream of our weather computer. And whether you're a new subscriber or an older subscriber, you can take advantage of that. That's why we have that red live circle on our icon when you go to our homepage. So if you want to see our live 24/7 stream and just to get the latest information in your area, which is it's updating right now in real time, all you have to do is go to the live tab of Meteo Mundo and find this thumbnail. You click on that, you're going to get that live weather information, live radar, live satellite, live temperatures, and anytime there's any tropical systems, live tracking of that as well. Again, the live tab here at Meteo Mundo. My suggestion is to pop in for a few minutes each day and just get the latest information in your area. Or maybe you live in the Bahamas for today and you really want to follow that. You can watch for as long as you want to there. Again, updated real-time information. Okay, before we get started, a couple more things. First of all, in the comment section, just let me know where you're viewing from. I would love to see all the different nations that are represented here at Meteo Mundo. So drop that in the comment section below. And as you're doing so, hit the like button. I absolutely appreciate it. Okay, let's get into the weather story on this Monday. Again, we've been tracking this cold front that is beginning to work its way into the northwest side of the Caribbean. Places like the Cayman Islands and Jamaica are going to be impacted by this, certainly over the Bahamas right now. And then all of this is marching off towards the south and to the east. All the numbers that you see are live current temperatures here on this Monday afternoon. Obviously still exceptionally hot in the eastern side of our area, but temperatures beginning to cool to our north and to our west. This is the visible satellite imagery. You can see the really thick cloud coverage. When we look at the water vapor imagery, we can see that stream of moisture coming in from the southwest up towards the Bahamas. And again, that moisture with some rain and clouds will be moving over the Cayman Islands and Jamaica and throughout the Bahamas for the remainder of the day, and then pushing off towards the east. So what I want to do is we're going to look at the current conditions across all of the area and then kind of go island by island and forecast for the week ahead. But at this point in time, it's very clear to see the thick cloud coverage and the very breezy conditions that this front is bringing to the Bahamas. Temperatures right now in Freeport and Nassau are in the lower 70s. Showers still continue to roll across the extreme northwest Bahamas. It hasn't been extremely heavy rain this afternoon, but we've had some showers across Walker's Key and anywhere across this thicker cloud coverage, we are beginning to see a little bit in the way of a few showers. Now, the really interesting thing is we have this mid-level low that is almost trying to develop right over the northwest Bahamas. I want you to notice how fast these clouds are moving from southwest to northeast, and then on the northern side we have that spin. Again, we have this area of low pressure trying to develop basically over the Bahamas, and that is still causing some gale conditions. Winds are still very, very strong. Then we follow the moisture plume, if you will, as being dragged into that area of low pressure right across the northwest Caribbean. So the winds are beginning to pick up in places like the Cayman Islands and the Yucatan. You can see those north winds there in places like Cancun and on over towards the Road Town area there in the Cayman Islands. And then for friends in portions of Jamaica, again, there's Weston, there's Georgetown there in the Cayman Islands. And then for Jamaica, at this point in time, they're still with a southeast breeze. Clouds are developing, but the front has yet to move through. And your best chance for some rain and some stronger winds are going to come later tonight and into our Tuesday. And temperatures there, you can see Kingston up to 86. And then everywhere else, we're still with our easterlies, and it's still pretty hot outside. But again, changes are coming as this front marches its way from west to east and will impact a majority of our area. Not everyone is going to feel impacts from this front, but we'll kind of get into how that's going to play out coming up here in just a couple of minutes. The first thing I want to do is actually just show you the broad perspective of the winds. So I'm going to put this into motion. These are your wind gusts. And really what you want to be looking for are areas in the oranges and the reds for the strongest winds. Now, again, that low is going to be deepening or getting stronger. And guess what? It's going right towards Bermuda yet again. So they are going to see some gale warnings and gale conditions in Bermuda here as we get into our Tuesday and Wednesday. And then yet another powerful system coming off the United States East Coast is going to provide problems for them. We're going to stay with our easterlies throughout most of the Lesser Antilles. We'll try and turn the winds out of the north here on the far southwestern side of the Atlantic. So trying to spin up a little bit in the way of north winds down through the Turks and the Caicos and the northern sides of Hispaniola and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands as well. And again, we're going to get some winds that'll be picking up a little bit. Now, for places like Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, of course, the winds are turning out of the northwest already in the Cayman Islands. They're still out of the southeast in Jamaica, but later tonight, tomorrow, they'll turn out of the northwest. They'll be somewhat breezy. They're going to bring some rain to our area, and we'll highlight that. And the strong winds should continue in places like the ABC Islands. Now, again, we could have a convergence of winds in the northern side of the Lesser Antilles later in the week as that front arrives. The easterlies butting into the northwest winds that could at least provide the opportunity for some showers in that area as well. Okay, so let's get down how this is going to break down across the area, and we'll start with rain. The first place we're going to look at is what's going to be happening here in the Bahamas. Actually, what I want to do real quickly is we'll switch over to our Bahamas product. And then I'm actually going to pull on the live radar one more time here. And again, you can see there's the cloud coverage. There's the showers moving in. Now, what's going to be happening is we're going to begin to clear out our skies later today. It's going to get drier, but we're still going to have a northerly wind. And that north wind is still going to have the opportunity to spiral in and usher in some showers the next couple of days. They're going to be fast moving showers with a northerly wind. So let me go back over to this wide view here real quickly, and then I'm going to zoom back in and switch over to our HER model here, and we're going to take a look at the forecast across the Bahamas. Because, look, the wind is one of the stories, okay? But the other story is still going to be some driving shower activity here that will at least be sticking around through Wednesday. We might actually even see a couple of showers try and linger into Thursday as well. But the bulk of the rain, you can see, pulls through the central and the southeast Bahamas later today, and then we spiral in at the back end of that low a few more showers. So I really just want to highlight that we're not completely done with the rain yet, and these brisk north winds are going to be bringing some cooler changes to places like Freeport and Nassau and Arthurstown and Marsh Harbor and Bimini as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. And the HER model is actually relatively aggressive at producing a few more showers coming back in. So here's how it plays out for the Bahamas. Let me get myself out of the way here. Again, as we go through the remainder of today, relatively dry. A few spotty showers are possible, and then a little maximum of rain tries to move back in late in the day tomorrow, mainly up towards Grand Bahama and Abaco and Walker's Key, a little bit closer to the center of that circulation. But again, we could blow up a few very fast moving showers, by the way, as we get even into our Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon. It's just not going to be completely dry. And look at that spin up here. This broader perspective really clearly shows that. Watch this thing try and wrap up a little bit right up there. How about that? You can see that broader spin moving away. So the forecast for Nassau looks like this. Still an 80% chance for showers the remainder of today. It's going to be windy. There is a gale warning that goes through this evening. The wind should relax after that. Tuesday and Wednesday, a 30% chance for fast-moving showers. Cooler with the northerly breeze, just 74 for the daytime high on Wednesday. As that low pulls away, the weather gets quieter, it gets a little bit milder outside, but still relatively cool for this time of the year. 76 on Thursday, up to 78 degrees on Friday. So again, for my friends in the Bahamas, it's kind of about the wind as well. And just real quickly to show you this loop of wind, we may not get more than gale gusts, but certainly small craft want to remain in port for the remainder of today. The wind should begin to relax as that pulls away, but still fairly breezy northerly winds over the next couple days. It's going to turn up the water, shelter locations looking a little bit better there. But again, nice flow. And you can see on that spin, we might pull back in some 20 to 30 knot gusts, not sustained, but gusts as we get into late Tuesday and on Wednesday. So the wind is something I'll be continuing to monitor here as we get into the remainder of the week. Moving on. We're going to keep a close eye on what's going to be happening here with this front and the rain that it's going to bring. So again, in the Cayman Islands right now, we're starting to see those showers push off. We're starting to see that rain march its way towards Jamaica. So here's how this is going to play out over the next couple of days in this area. The rain will try and hold together through Jamaica. Now look, for my friends in Jamaica, this is probably not going to be very, very heavy rain. We're going to have a good chance for some showers later today and tomorrow, but the amount of rain may not be extremely significant. So the rain's going to come in with those breezy winds that are going to turn from the southeast to the northwest. But I just don't expect there to be a lot of heavy rain. So this is tonight when we start to see those showers move in and you start to see your winds turn out of the north into the west. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, a fair amount of green on the board. Again, it's not a ton of rain, but the shower chances are going to be out there, and that's our chance. As we get into Wednesday morning, the north winds come in and it does dry out. So just a little bit broader perspective for us here. I'm going to let this loop one more time. Let's see here. I've got this out. Just want to make sure I have the right time frame here. So give me just 1 second, guys. Just want to make sure that I've got this extended as far out as I want it to be. And we'll go out to the 23rd, and then I'll loop it again and get back over to our reflectivity. This computer system does a lot of different things. Sometimes it can be a little bit finicky as far as when I'm switching different models and I'm switching different parameters, going back over to some of these presets that I have. So again, looking at the forecast for my friends in Jamaica, it's later today, it's tomorrow for the best chance for some rain. You can see that rain moving in. Now, as we get into Wednesday, the 21st, it does begin to dry out and maybe pushing in a few showers later in the week. But this is our best chance for places like Montego Bay and Negril and Mandeville and Maypen, Spanish Town, Portmore, the Kingston area. Again, not a ton of rain, but spottier showers. Now, obviously the wind is a big story. The winds are still currently right now out of the south and the east, but they will be turning out of the north into the west as well. So if I switch over to the wind vector product here for my friends in Jamaica, and then I zoom back in, I just want to kind of give you the timing of how these winds are going to be changing up. So let me switch on over and bring up these winds just a little bit bigger so you can see. So again, the model is basically forecasting the wind shift to occur overnight. This is 1 a.m. The east side of the island still has an east to a southeast wind. The north side of the island has that north to northwest wind. So as we get into the morning hours here, we're going to start to see those winds turn a little bit more out of the north and west and freshen up. The purples and the pinks are winds of over 20 knots and gusts. And again, those winds will be fresher on the northern side of the island. And eventually we'll see those winds pull out. So folks have been asking me, what do the boating conditions look like the next couple of days? It's a little bit calmer on the southern side of the island for Port Royal and the Kingston area, but please use caution. Please use your best judgment. For the remainder of today, southeast winds at 10 to 20, seas running around 3 to 6 feet. For Tuesday, winds do turn out of the northwest, seas around 3 to 5 feet. Down in the Kingston area, they will be higher on the northern coastline, and we'll see those winds begin to relax as we get into Wednesday. So again, a big wind shift and at least some choppy conditions out there. For the Kingston area, the remainder of today, but especially tonight, passing showers begin to arrive. We'll have some scattered rain throughout the day on Tuesday. Look, it may not add up to a ton of rain, but the chance is out there. And then behind our wind shift in our north winds, it does get a little bit cooler outside. Lower 80s for daytime highs on Wednesday and Thursday with plenty of sunshine. And I still think we're mainly dry on Friday. We're back up to 86 degrees for a daytime high. Friends, I also want to let everyone know that we do offer memberships here at Meteo Mundo. You're going to be looking for that join button if you'd like to become a member. It costs you just 99 cents a month. You get exclusive access to member-only forecast videos, custom badges and emojis when we go live. Again, there is that join button here. And if you want our live stream, it's that live tab right there running 24/7. Okay, back over to the rain, and let's talk about how this front is going to be marching across the rest of our area here as we roll through the rest of the week. So just letting this run out, we're going to see the better chances for rain as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, move into places like Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, and portions of the Lesser Antilles, okay? Not a lot of the Leeward Islands are going to see the way of some heavier shower activity, but the chances there for the northern side of the Leeward Islands. So here's how this plays out as far as timing goes, all right? I think we're going to start to see some of these showers enter the picture as early as Wednesday morning in places like Puerto Plata, Santiago de los Caballeros, Santo Domingo, Punta Cana there in the Dominican Republic. Letting this kind of roll, you can see those showers moving in as we get into late tomorrow night and then throughout the day on Wednesday. So there's your best timing there with some downpours possible. Enough moisture in play to see some of that. Then isolated showers for the remainder of the week, but that moisture begins to kind of pull off towards the east. So basically everything's moving west to east. And again, we start to see some of those showers move into places like San Juan and Ponce as we get into Wednesday and then early on Thursday and then to the U.S. and British Virgin Islands and portions of the Leeward Islands. Look, you're not going to see a ton of green on the map. We're not going to have that rain sitting over one area like we did last week, where we had some 4+ inch rainfall totals in these areas. But the rain chances will begin to improve in places like Anguilla, in Antigua and Barbuda, and St. Kitts and Nevis as well. Again, at least to get you some opportunity for some showers. Now, obviously, the bulk of this rain does stay up to our north, but when the wind shift coming out of the northwest and then winds here out of the southeast, that wind convergence is going to provide some showers. Now, anywhere from Dominica south is still going to be relatively dry. Barbados will also be relatively dry as well. I'll touch on that a little bit more in a second, but getting back over to Hispaniola here in the Dominican Republic, again, rain chances will begin to improve late tomorrow, Wednesday, and at least a little bit on Thursday as well. So for my friends in Santo Domingo, warm and humid today ahead of the front, 88 the daytime high. 30% chance for mainly late day showers on your Tuesday, 87. The front arrives on Wednesday. Showers and breezy conditions, a 50% chance, the high of 83. Then 85 degrees on Thursday under partly sunny skies. Just some beautiful weather to wrap up the week, mainly dry, sunshine, and a high back up to 86 degrees. Let's look at those wind vectors for the Lesser Antilles, because I want to talk about how this is going to influence the weather ahead. So again, you notice that as we get into tomorrow, the winds are going to be kind of beginning to turn here a bit. As I extend this further out, we'll go on out towards our Wednesday. Again, we'll start to see the winds in Hispaniola turn out of the north. Still this east to southeast wind in the Lesser Antilles. But then as we get into our Thursday, and we'll go out one more day here to show you that. As we go into our Thursday, notice that the winds, even in the northern side of the Lesser Antilles, do begin to turn out of the north. So I'll also be watching for some of the swells to return to portions of the Lesser Antilles, including Antigua, Barbuda, and Barbados. But here is your wind convergence. It's clear to see. There's your southeast winds coupled with the northerly winds, and anywhere along this convergence zone, that's where we could have some of that rain. And again, the winds are fairly brisk out of the north for a good chunk of the area here. And you can even see that back behind this, we're going to have northerly breeze through most of the Caribbean late in the week. Guess what that's going to do? It's going to usher in a little bit of that cooler, drier weather outside of the Lesser Antilles, where again, we can see some spotty showers there. So when I go back over to the rain product here, kind of giving you the whys of why I expect a couple of showers to reform in this area. We'll look at the model one more time and run this back out. And again, late in the week, it's not going to be concentrated rain, but with the easterlies still bringing in some moisture and those north winds coming in, a little bit of lift in the atmosphere for some spotty showers in this area. And that does go as far south as Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, but pretty isolated in nature, about a 20% chance late in the week. Let's take a look at the precipitation here. This is going to be how much rain could fall in your area over the next 5 days. So when I expand this out, to go ahead to go on out to the 23rd, I want you to notice that again, we're drying out in our western areas behind that front. Same thing for the Bahamas. And now we're looking at a little bit higher chance for rain in some of the areas that I just mentioned. But starting back off over the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, again, it's not going to be a ton of rain there for West End and Georgetown, maybe a quarter to a half inch. Certainly could be some wind-driven showers and again, piling up some water on the northern coastline. For, again, Jamaica, it's not a ton of rain. You see Port Antonio, Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, quarter to a half inch in a couple of spots. Old Harbor, maybe a quarter of an inch. Not a lot, though, guys. Just don't expect there to be a lot in the way of some significant showers in those areas. Moving on over here, let me, behind the scenes, I've hit a couple of wrong buttons. Stay with me here. full screen. There we go. It's going to move in just a second, I promise. There we go. Like I said, there's a ton of things this thing can do. I just got to get it to cooperate. On the northern side of the Dominican Republic, you can see a nice little maximum of maybe an inch of rain towards Puerto Plata there. Santiago de los Caballeros, same situation, a little bit higher totals on the northern side of the island. It's going to be the same scenario for our friends in Puerto Rico. Higher chances for rain for Arecibo and San Juan than compared to the Ponce areas. And again, some of those sporadic showers could bring a quarter to a half inch of rain for the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, and then spottier rain for places like Anguilla, Antigua, and Barbuda. It's not going to be a ton, but the rain chances will return. Hey, if we get a half inch of rain in Barbuda there later in the week, that's not bad for that situation. I do expect the surf and sea conditions to kick back up. I'll be monitoring that. Notice the model doesn't really have much for Barbados, maybe the eastern sides of Dominica and Martinique and St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and Trinidad and Tobago could all catch a few spotty showers. Friends, I think that's a good comprehensive look at what's going to be happening here. You can also follow us across all of our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. You want to send me a picture or video, it's myMediaMundo@gmail.com. You have a specific question about the forecast, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer that. Again, thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber already, remember our 24/7 live stream if you want the latest updated information. Have a great one, friends. I'll see you soon right here at Meteo Mundo.